you know what you see on screen is usually not the full story. And the person who is smiling and make jokes at the screen, that's the end product. What happened behind the scene? Right? You don't see the struggle and the journey before he reached the end game. Right? For my personal experience, right, during the darkest and most difficult period of my life, my closest companion was not hope, it was anger. So my hometown is in Malaysia, Muar, it's a kampong. I came from a poor family. So kids those days were brought up in such a way that we are quite resilient, can stand up after we fail. And that's what I thought lah. So after my business closed down, right, I thought I would be okay. I will be able to stand up again. But truth be told, that was not the case. That time, right, when my company folded, I thought I only lost the income, and the company. But it was actually much more than that. The feeling was that I lost my purpose. I lost my confidence and also my identity. People usually go through identity crisis during their teenage years, right? I go through twice. So during my young adult and midlife also, when my company is gone, I'm like, what happened, Eddie? What's gonna become of you? So that was a very difficult stage of my life, and that's the time when I retreated. I retreated to a very, very small space, right? Because a small space was what I needed at that time, because that's what left of me, nothing really, right? That was the feeling. So imagine a cobra coiled inside a small cave is the safe space. So anybody who come close to the cave or anything that make a movement or even the air they breathe, I would be triggered. I would snap. You see, I inside me was boiling with what? Boiling with anger. That prevent me from moving forward. Although I'm going about my day still, sending out application, trying to find my feet again, right? But my heart, right, is already dead. Cannot move already. My soul is already gone. No more motivation to move forward. So that's the kind of feeling I remember till now because it was quite devastating. Right. So what happened then was I remembered I had frequent fights with my wife. My wife was very, very upset. I understand lah. I mean the life adjustment, family growing up, financial obligations to the HDB flat is very stressful. So she was very, very upset, which I could totally understand. But didn't stop me from being angry. Not normal angry, but super upset, like overreaction to small little trivial things. That's what I call that kind of anger. And my kids also kena, right? Like small little thing, like spill the water. Wow, I become suddenly like a dragon, breathe fire at them. Woo. A very small little thing only. So the funny thing is, right, when I was triggered by this kind of nonsense little things, right, I can feel my soul out of my body become like a POV, point of view. If those who play Counter-Strike, like the kind of third party perspective of myself, like, wow, suddenly like, what happened, Eddie? Why are you doing this? Why are you scolding the kids? It's not even their fault. It's just the law of physics and gravity, the water fall down, nothing to do with them. Why am I scolding? Why am I shouting, shouting on top of my lungs to friends, to my family members, the one that I love most, now I'm the greatest enemy. That's what become of me. And that third party perspective of myself, out of body experience, it was like realization, what happened, right? And you know what's the funny thing? When I had that kind of experience, like, why am I doing this, right? Immediately after scolding, immediately after I shouted, I regret. straight away the guilt struck me, like, oh no, what have I said? Why do I say such a hurtful things? I really regret, but it's too late. The words the knife already come out already. The shuriken already out of my system. It's too late. I cannot do, the damage is done. So I become very ashamed of myself, regret. I cannot control. I don't know why. I'm out of control. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm totally out of control of my temper, my anger on myself. So it got to a point that there were talks with my spouse about divorce. That's how serious it got. The turning point was when my spouse and I had a serious talk. We sat down. One day we sat down. We had a deep discussion about what was happening. What's happening to my anger issues, impact on the family. And at the end, we decided to give ourselves a second chance. So after that, we made an appointment with a marriage counselor, and we actually went for the session lah. So during that counseling, right, I remember we talk a lot lah, but I remember that I realized, right, I actually was not alone during that difficult journey. She was with me. I was just blinded. Yeah, she sacrificed for the family. Yeah, and she was just waiting for me to stand up again. But my anger issues, right, was too much to bear. Yeah, that was also when I realized and I understand that I was not actually angry at the person doing something. It is not that triggered me. I was angry with myself. Yeah, I was actually very upset of myself, right? So it becomes like the anger is becoming like a way, an emotional outlet to deal with that upset. So obviously it's a wrong way to do it lah. And after the session, the counselor spoke to us, and we do our own things lah. I mean, she taught us some method which I still using, and I hope to share with you guys, right? One thing that I did to start to control my anger, right, is to give myself space. So during that time, I was although little by little I'm recovering, right, I'm still tend to snap at people, triggered, but every time I had the feeling that I'm going to get angry, right, I leave the space, maybe move to another room, right? Or if I'm in a conversation with my spouse on the phone, right, we'll try to hang up, cool down for a while, 1 second or 2 seconds, come back and talk about it. Then the issues become factual and not emotional. So that is very effective. The other thing that I try to do to control my temper was delayed response. So I told you, right, earlier in the video, I tend to overreact. So little things I overreact. Very drama. So what I do is, instead of reacting straight away, I try, if I can, to slow down 0.2 nanosecond, millisecond, or whatever, right? That allows me to look at myself and say, hey, yeah, you don't need to overreact. Actually, it's a small thing. Then my response to the situation will be more measured. Yeah. So that also worked for me, right? But the most important part in my journey of recovering from this, right, is actually honesty lah. Honesty with my loved ones. I open up my feelings to them, right? Not just the factual problem that happened or the things that caused me distress, but my feeling and emotional state at the point of time. Like I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling angry over this, right? Then they will try together with me to find out what am I actually angry about, right? Usually it's because it's my own lah, my own fault lah. Yeah. So honesty and opening up. And then it comes to a point where my wife suggested lah, why not you go and talk to your friends. I got seriously speaking, I don't have many friends. So he said, Okay, then you go and talk to YouTube lor and speak to camera. Maybe you feel better. So that started me thinking lah. Maybe I should start a channel to talk about my life as Eddie, a taxi driver, rebuilding my life from you know from my field business. So that's how you got to watch this channel. It's all because of my my wife lah. Yeah, thanks to her. Yeah. So these are the things that I did, which 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 helped me lah. And I really hope those watching this video, if you are having these issues, right, of anger issues, right, I don't know if this one will give you any value. Anyway, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, right? I'm here to just share the experience, what I've been through and what has helped me. So I do hope that if you are facing issues like this, there are actually deeper things, the underlying problem. It's not because you are an angry person, you are a bad person, but the underlying issues of you having lost something. For me, in my case, is I lost my purpose and my confidence, right? For you, everybody has their own struggle, yeah. And talking may be the best way, or opening up may be the best way or the first step to recover, right? So I also want to say one thing. Sometimes you see people road rage, raging in the public. If you take a step back, right, and look, actually they are not bad person. Nobody want to aspire to be like this, Nobody want to be a drama queen or king. That I believe. They were like that is because there were some underlying issues that they cannot resolve, right? Maybe they are not lucky, like my case. I got a wife that supported me, right? Or a family member who carry their hand along the way. Maybe this person are not so lucky. So maybe if we take a step back, we won't judge them anymore. In fact, we should encourage and in some way help them. I don't know. Maybe through this video, right? So guys, if you know anybody who is suffering this kind of episode, or you are suffering, please know that you are not alone, right? There are a lot of people in this world that are suffering also. Many have moved on, many have succeeded, but there are also many who couldn't resolve. Yeah. But together, if you open up and talk, yeah, that's already a very first step. Yeah. So thank you guys. I'm gonna wrap up the video. It's not an easy topic to talk about. Yeah. But in any case, I hope you find it useful. Right. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.